More than 4,500 years ago, on the edge of the desert in what is now Egypt, one of the most incredible achievements in human history began to rise from the sands. Massive stone blocks were carved, transported, and stacked with astonishing precision, forming structures so grand that they would outlive empires, civilizations, and even languages. These are the Pyramids of Giza. Standing proudly on the Giza Plateau near the Nile River, the three Great Pyramids were built for the powerful pharaohs of ancient Egypt: Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. Each pyramid tells a story of ambition, power, religion, and mystery that continues to fascinate historians and archaeologists today. But before we explore the pyramids themselves, we need to understand the world that created them. Ancient Egyptians believed that their pharaoh was not just a king, but a divine ruler chosen by the gods. The pharaoh was considered the link between heaven and earth, responsible for maintaining order in the universe. When a pharaoh died, Egyptians believed his soul would travel to the afterlife where he would live forever among the gods. Because of this belief, enormous effort was put into preparing the pharaoh's tomb. And that is how the pyramids were born. The largest and most famous pyramid belongs to Pharaoh Khufu. Khufu ruled Egypt during the 4th Dynasty, around 2580 BC. Determined to create a monument that would guarantee his eternal life and demonstrate his power, he ordered the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. This pyramid is the largest ever built in Egypt. Originally, it stood about 146 meters tall, making it the tallest man-made structure in the world for nearly 4,000 years. It was built using more than 2 million limestone blocks, each weighing several tons. Even today, experts still debate exactly how ancient workers managed to move and place these massive stones with such precision. Contrary to popular myths, the pyramids were not built by slaves. Archaeological discoveries show that they were constructed by skilled workers and laborers who lived in nearby villages. These workers were fed, paid, and organized into teams that worked together to complete the monumental task. The Great Pyramid was once covered with polished white limestone that reflected sunlight, making the structure shine like a giant jewel in the desert. At its peak, the pyramid must have been visible from miles away. Inside the pyramid, narrow corridors lead to chambers deep within the structure. The most famous of these is the King's Chamber, where Khufu's granite sarcophagus still rests today. Yet despite centuries of exploration, many mysteries remain. Hidden chambers may still exist within the pyramid, and modern scanning technology has revealed large empty spaces that researchers are still trying to understand. Next to Khufu's pyramid stands the second pyramid, built for his son, Pharaoh Khafre. Although Khafre's pyramid appears taller than Khufu's today, it is actually slightly smaller. The illusion comes from the fact that Khafre built his pyramid on higher ground. What makes Khafre's pyramid unique is that it still has some of its original smooth limestone casing at the very top. When all the pyramids were new, they would have looked very different from what we see today. Instead of rough stone steps, their surfaces were smooth and bright, reflecting the sun across the desert landscape. Khafre's reign was also responsible for one of the most mysterious monuments on Earth, the Great Sphinx. Carved from a single massive piece of limestone bedrock, the Sphinx has the body of a lion and the head of a human. It stretches about 73 meters long and 20 meters high, silently guarding the pyramids. Most historians believe the face of the Sphinx represents Pharaoh Khafre himself. In ancient Egyptian culture, the lion symbolized strength and royal power. By combining the body of a lion with the head of a pharaoh, the Sphinx represented a powerful guardian protecting the sacred royal tombs. For thousands of years, the Sphinx has watched over the Giza Plateau. It has survived sandstorms, erosion, earthquakes, and even human damage. At times in history, the statue was almost completely buried by desert sand, with only its head visible above the surface. Ancient Egyptians themselves had to dig it out several times. One famous story involves Pharaoh Thutmose IV, who lived over 1,000 years after the pyramids were built. According to legend, he fell asleep beside the buried Sphinx and dreamed that the statue promised him the throne of Egypt if he cleared the sand away from it. After becoming pharaoh, He placed a stone tablet between the Sphinx's paws, describing the dream. The third pyramid at Giza belongs to Pharaoh Menkaure, the grandson of Khufu. Menkaure's pyramid is the smallest of the three, standing at about 65 meters tall. However, it was built with extraordinary craftsmanship. The lower portion of the pyramid was covered with beautiful red granite, giving it a striking appearance. Although smaller, Menkaure's pyramid was part of a large complex that included temples, statues, and smaller pyramids for queens. Archaeologists have discovered remarkable statues of Menkaure that show the pharaoh standing alongside Egyptian goddesses, symbolizing his divine authority. Together, the pyramids of Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure form one of the most iconic landscapes in the world. But the mysteries surrounding them continue to puzzle researchers. How did ancient Egyptians transport stones weighing several tons across the desert? How were the pyramids aligned so perfectly with the cardinal directions? And why were they built with such incredible precision long before modern engineering tools existed? Some scientists believe the Egyptians used complex systems of ramps to move the stones. Others suggest combinations of sleds, water lubrication, and carefully organized labor. What we do know is that building the pyramids required decades of planning, tens of thousands of workers, and extraordinary knowledge of mathematics and engineering. The pyramids were not only tombs. They were symbols of cosmic order. Their shape may have represented the rays of the sun descending to earth, helping the pharaoh's spirit rise to the heavens. The pyramids were also part of larger religious complexes connected to the Nile River through long stone causeways. These pathways allowed priests to carry out rituals honoring the dead king. For ancient Egyptians, death was not the end of life. It was the beginning of a new journey. And the pyramids were the gateway. Today, more than 4,000 years after their construction, the pyramids of Giza remain the only surviving wonder of the ancient world. They continue to inspire awe in millions of visitors who travel from across the globe to stand before these ancient giants. Despite centuries of research, many secrets of the pyramids and the Sphinx are still hidden beneath the sands of Egypt. Perhaps future discoveries will finally reveal how these incredible monuments were built. Or perhaps some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, reminding us just how extraordinary the ancient Egyptians truly were. One thing is certain. As the sun sets over the Giza Plateau and the shadows of the pyramids stretch across the desert, the legacy of Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure still stands strong, silent, majestic, and eternal.